Miami and North Carolina could have been a really entertaining game, but Miami went and lost to Georgia Tech. That was a very disappointing loss for the Hurricanes, and now they're looking to bounce back against the undefeated Tar Heels. That's going to be a tough test, a tough way to bounce back, but they have to find a way to do it. Obviously, last week was terrible, and the turnovers really hurt them, but that's where guys like Tyler Van Dyke really can step up, and he is an impact player. I think his ability to take care of the football, to move it downfield, really determines how successful this team can be because this is a North Carolina offense that can put up points in a hurry and will test this Miami defense. But Tyler Van Dyke and this offense can also score. And if they're able to do that, maybe it won't matter if Miami's defense struggles, but you'd like to see this defense step up. But guys like James Williams are going to have their hands full. North Carolina is deep at the pass catching positions, and they are an explosive offense. You are going to have to find ways to limit Drake May and what he can do. It's going to be a long day. And if you're able to slow that offense down, not only will you add a loss to North Carolina's record, you also give your offense opportunities to score more as well. North Carolina is extremely explosive. Drake May is really good. He has been proving that he is QB2 going into next year's draft. I think that he's been figuring some things out. There have been new weapons that he's had to get chemistry with, he's had to gel with, and so far he's done a really good job of making sure he honestly is doing what he needs to do to continue keeping North Carolina playing at a high level. And I think that they have done a great job. Yeah, I think that they haven't reached their full potential. They haven't hit their ceiling, and it'll be scary to see what happens if they are. Because, like I said before, North Carolina is a different beast, and Miami has yet to see an offense like North Carolina's. They have yet to see a team that can put up points and move the ball down the field like the Tar Heels can. And that's not just in the passing attack. Omarion Hampton's having a big year. The rushing attack is deep as well. So North Carolina presents plenty of challenges for a team like Miami, and how they handle that in terms of North Carolina and Miami, how do they handle that absolute battle that will ensue will be really fun to watch. There's a number of matchups that you can point out and say, this is what you need to watch. This is something that you can see what will determine the outcome, will play a big role in who wins this game. The first one is really just the entire defensive backfield for Miami going against North Carolina's passing attack. Nate McCollum is having a good year. The return of Tez Walker is definitely something to keep an eye on. He finally got reinstated by the NCAA after we won't even go into that, how ridiculous it was. He is back. He is someone who adds another element to this passing attack as if you didn't have to worry about enough. This secondary has their hands full. Corey Couch, James Williams, Cameron Kinchins, Devontae Moore, Dale Porter Jr. There's plenty of talent in Miami's secondary. It's just that North Carolina also has just as many weapons offensively. So that's pretty much the biggest matchup to watch. I think an underrated matchup is Jalen Rivers and Cameron Rucker. Both of them feel like they're underrated at their positions in college football, and those are guys who can definitely themselves on the map with a strong performance. I think that North Carolina's defense is disruptive when they need to be, but also they are inconsistent in that department. I think that they're waiting to figure that out. I don't know why they can't do it with the amount of talent they have, but disruptive plays is something that will help them quite a bit. For keys to the game, Miami, you got to wake up. Last week was just so bad. You should never lose to Georgia Tech. The play calling, the decision making by Mario Cristobal, not good. Honestly, if it was a lot of other coaches, you might not be here the next day. But I think that's just inexcusable, especially in a game that you're already struggling with. You have to be smart. You have to make smart decisions and running the football, regardless of whether or not he was down. You just can't put yourself in that situation. Making dumb mistakes is the easiest way to lose a football game. And making dumb mistakes against North Carolina is the easiest way to ensure that you lose by 40. So wake up, make smart decisions. That includes the coaching staff. It's not just the players. The players obviously have to do their part, but the coaching staff last week is just as much to blame as the kids were. And you have to find a way to move on from that. Find a way to move on, find a way to wake up. And you're going to need to wake up early because North Carolina is not going to wait around for you to say, okay, I'm ready to go. Keeping Tyler Van Dyke upright will be a big key. North Carolina is disruptive. They are going to want to get after the quarterback and they want to slow this offense down. If you can keep Tyler Van Dyke upright and allow him more time to throw, you'll give your playmakers, who we've seen can be explosive, more time to make plays. Slowing down Drake May, I don't know how you're going to do it. Good luck with that. Not many teams have figured that out in his career. But if you're able to slow him down, then I think you're in a good position to potentially stick in this game, maybe hang around longer than people expect. For North Carolina, disruptive plays, getting after the quarterback, kind of like Georgia Tech was able to do, kind of like certain teams have been able to do to Miami in the past. That's going to be the easiest way for you to get the ball back to your offense. It'll get the ball in the end zone because Drake May and that offense will take care of the business that they need to. And that will be huge. Attacking through the air, we all know what North Carolina wants to do, but they also can run the ball. It's just that the air attack will do more damage to a secondary that is in for a long, long night in Miami. Limiting the turnovers will also be a key. Both teams obviously have to do this, but if North Carolina is giving the ball back to Miami, Miami has an explosive offense. They can put up points in a hurry. And if you're giving the ball back to that offense and giving them momentum, then you're going to be in for a long night too. And the quarterbacks are the biggest players in that aspect of the game, that key to the game. Taking care of the football, which so far, if you take away one game from both of these guys, I think that their numbers look a lot better. You're looking at, I mean, the Minnesota game was probably Drake May's worst game, and he still threw for 414 yards and 2 touchdowns. Last week was obviously rough for Tyler Van Dyke. 3 interceptions did not really help, but I think that you're still looking at two guys that can make big plays that are very capable of playing in the big moments. And it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back, how Miami bounces back, and how North Carolina really benefits from Tez Walker. I think that's something that we'll talk about quite a bit this week is what does Tez Walker do for this offense? I think he's a big time threat, a big body player who can make plays downfield, and it gives them another element that Miami has to worry about. The quarterbacks are very explosive. They can both put up big numbers as we've seen this year. It's just a matter of how do they do that consistency. Right now, Tyler Van Dyke is the more inconsistent player, but Drake May definitely has his flaws as well. Lately, though, it feels like we've seen a guy in Drake May who continues to just dominate with some of the throws that he's able to make. And this offense feels like it's got the advantage right now. But Miami, if they're able to bounce back, I like what they can do in this game. I think that they can slow down North Carolina's offense. I think that they're capable of making sure that last week is just a one game thing. But if you lose 2 games, then you're kind of in trouble. North Carolina obviously is the favorite team. They are the more explosive offense. They're a more consistent team right now. And I'm going to lean North Carolina with knowing that South or Miami is looking to bounce back. And if they are, there's a good chance that they'll keep this game interesting. They'll keep it close. And finding a way to win this game will come down to what they can do to slow down Drake May and that offense. But for now, it feels like they don't have enough in the tank to slow down this Tar Heels offense.